I think we are going live on YouTube as we speak. I'll bring this a little closer. All right. So your audio is good, your video is solid. Just making sure we are golden here. There we go. We are live. Jackson,
Ready to
take
rock
it
and roll?
take it away.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 314 of Boog Life, Pitted with Action and Manny V. Back at it after a few weeks away. Manny was taking care of business down in southern portions of Mexico, and I've been on the mend for the past month. So, we're both stoked to be joining you here tonight.
Yeah, Jackson, we missed you, brother. Art is just online. He chimed in, but Jackson, we missed you here. I think we've been offline since, but you're back in good health, it looks like.
Working my way towards it. I still have a lot of work to put in, but you know me, I'm not one to shy away from a challenge.
Amen to that. So yeah, we chatted earlier. You're on a new path. I don't know how much in detail you want to talk about what's been going on with you health wise, but I'll leave that up to you.
Full disclosure, bro. Yeah, that's what you get with me all the time, and that ain't gonna change anytime soon. Yeah, for those of you who didn't know what was going on with me, the end of June, yeah, going back to the end of June, that last Saturday. I ended up in the hospital. I had spent 24 hours with vomiting and diarrhea. It was pure hell. I felt like I was dying. And went to the emergency room, spent 9 hours there being stabilized before being put in the back of an ambulance and transported to a local hospital. I spent 5 days in the hospital. I had laparoscopic surgery, tons of blood work done, and it turns out that I have celiac disease, which is an extreme autoimmune disorder. Um, it's like a violent reaction to gluten. Anything containing wheat, rye, or barley, or derivatives thereof, uh, cause my immune system to attack my lower intestine. It causes fatigue, diarrhea, anemia, iron deficiency, all kinds of nasty stuff. And, for all the health issues that I was dealing with for the last several years, even going back to when I was living in San Diego and couldn't figure out what it was, initially chalked it up to just me being diabetic, turned out to be something altogether different. So, I had surgery a month ago, been recovering from that. Just went to the follow-up visit today with the surgical specialist. No more surgical glue and stitches holding me together in my stomach. And since I found out I have celiac 2 weeks ago, I immediately adopted a strict gluten-free diet. I've already regained out 8 pounds. In the past 2 weeks, I've gone from 117 to 125 pounds.
Damn.
And so, yeah, I'm eating gluten free to help combat the celiac disease. Starting tomorrow morning, I am out the door to do a half mile and start a training routine that'll involve morning stretches, running, lifting, swimming. And then, of course, at night, evening stretches, box breathing. I got to kick my butt back into shape hardcore because I have very little strength, very little energy, although it's starting to return to me a little bit. And I'm just skin and bones. I got a lot of work to do to get back out in the water right now. But like I said, I ain't one to shy from a challenge.
You know what? I have to apologize because when you did come back into town, when you did live in San Diego, we were all about going out to get sandwiches. We're getting pizza. We were getting pretty much everything you can get gluten, but at the time we didn't know. So apologies for that. I mean, it's hard to turn down, a good pizza.
Well, look at it this way. It wasn't just on me and, what we were doing, running around and whatnot. multiple hospitalizations, countless amounts of blood work, and for, almost the last 4 years, nobody caught it. And it just got progressively worse
That is
until,
wild.
yeah, I'm kind of blown away, especially since I was hospitalized for similar situation 9 months ago. And the hospital network I went with that time, couldn't figure it out, kind of shrugged their shoulders. We can't figure out what's wrong with you. They pushed me out the door to open up the bed for somebody else.
Mm.
9 months of unnecessary suffering, and it took a completely different hospital network to figure it out. So, but hey, the American medical system at its finest.
Oh my gosh.
Don't get me started. When it comes to pharmaceutical companies and the medical industry, yeah, I have some very strong opinions. But in this case, I'm very thankful for the doctors, nurses aides, the surgical specialists from Novant Healthcare System here in the Charlotte area. They figured it out. And you know what? I'm already after 2 weeks of getting a diagnosis, an official diagnosis. I'm making forward progress already, putting on some weight, regaining some energy, and excuse my phrasing, it's fucking game on from here.
Yeah, I mean, now that you know what's happening, I mean, our gut, from a lot of videos I've seen, is pretty much the center of the epicenter of our being here on our planet, because that's where decisions are made. And you've had it attacked for years. And now that you know what's happening with your body, like what, and you made these changes, what has happened to your body since?
Well, like I said, I've already started putting weight back on. I'm starting to regain energy. And, it's not just, you know, the gluten itself, the wheat products, the rye products, the barley products. There's derivatives in food preservatives and emulsifiers, even something like soup. They use emulsifiers to thicken it and keep it in cans. So you got like in the past 2 weeks, I've become a professional label reader all over again. Because, I had kind of slacked off with all of this being diabetic, but now I've got a double whammy. I've got to make sure things are gluten free, and I got to watch that sugar intake still. So, you know, I I've got two major health issues that I need to keep in check, and there's no playing around. I mean, I honestly it scared the hell out of me when I went into the hospital because the one doctor I talked to when I first got there, they ran a tube through my nose, down my throat, into my stomach. They drained 2 liters of toxic fluid that had built up in my gut.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine taking a 2 liter of Coca-Cola, shaking that up as hard as you can, and then putting it in your belly.
Mm.
If it had burst, I wouldn't be here right now.
Well,
That was too close for comfort, bro.
damn, dude. So I am pretty sure I speak for everybody. We are happy that you finally, it's been finally figured out what has been happening with you. So thank you so much, whoever was in charge during that day, during that, you know, uh, emergency. And I'm still amazed that it wasn't caught earlier. But now that you know, now it's game on.
And again, I can't say thank you enough to the Novant healthcare system, the doctors, the surgeons, the nurses aides, and in particular the two nurses that were kind enough to give me sponge baths.
Oh, hey, oh.
Hey,
Awesome. Well, I'm stoked you're back here, and yeah, if you're gaining weight and you're getting all this energy back within the last week or so, yeah, it's going to be. I'm pretty excited to have you back in the water sooner than later.
yeah, and on a side note, I'm making sure to get plenty of probiotics. I've added a lot of yogurt to my back to my diet. I've started using kefir. If people don't know what kefir is, it's fermented milk. It's a Turkish style fermented milk that's got a very high probiotic content. It's very good for gut health. And you can find it in the dairy section of almost every major supermarket. Um, I'm doing that in the morning. I'm trying to eat as holistically as possible, keeping it as close to the source material as possible. Meats, fresh veggies, fresh fruits. And when I am going with the packaged stuff, like I said, if it doesn't say gluten-free specifically on the package, I'm veering away from it. And so that kind of eliminates eating fast food because I also have to worry about cross-contamination. Even if something doesn't have gluten in it, if it's prepared in the same area as something that has gluten in it, that can transfer over
Yeah.
and trigger an episode. And I'm trying to avoid that as best as possible. So, you know, it's kind of tough, I'll admit. You know my eating habits. I was a foodie before foodie ever became a term. You know, I used to be, referred to as, someone with an ironclad stomach that ate like a goat. And yeah, at 50 years old, being diabetic and now having celiac disease, that's no longer.
How's your eye?
My eye, it's stable. The vision hasn't really improved much. I still have 19 sutures in it, but my next appointment at Duke University Health Center, I'll be getting those taken out and just playing the waiting game. The
Well,
diabetes and these other health issues haven't really helped, but
yeah.
I can still make out shapes and colors. It's just foggy. It's kind of like looking through a foggy car window in the morning.
Okay.
But
Well,
the
check this.
eye is stable. I'm not losing it.
All right. Check this out. Do you remember Pitt Magazine back in the day?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Steve Salwitz, I believe he was the photo editor of Pitt Magazine during that time. Well, he created this product. It's called Nano Fit Water, and it's an alkaline 9.5 pH with oxygen infused. I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna have him send some of this over to you because it's water, but he's got something else going on with it. And I've had a couple of these already, and it's water, but there's whatever they're adding to it. It makes me feel a little bit more energized after drinking one of these. It's different than just drinking purified water. So I'm gonna have him send a case over to you, and then you can give me your thoughts. But Steve Sawitz from Pitt Magazine, the old school days, this is his deal, and I think we should support him. They're not cheap. I went on Amazon, and I think one of these, gosh, I forgot how much it's. I mean, it's water. It's going to be expensive, just like the Avion and all these other brands that have their high-end bottled water. But we're going to get you some of these, and we'll talk about it once you get your box. But yeah, brought it out to drink, but I ran out of time. So expect some of this, hopefully in the next week or two.
Greatly appreciated.
Yeah, you can let me know how it goes, and we'll chat about it. All
So,
right, Jackson.
all right, let's get into shout outs. I've already shouted out Novant Health and their healthcare system for figuring things out with me and getting me an official diagnosis. But I also owe a massive shout out to everybody who's reached out, touched base, messaged me, offered to help in any way, shape, or form that they could. Uh, those that I'm acquainted with through Facebook or personally that are chefs that have offered up gluten-free recipes. There are countless people that I could spend the next half hour naming names. But everybody that has expressed their concern and sent well wishes and prayers my way, greatly, greatly appreciated. I cannot say thank you enough.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, I reached out a couple times and just checking in, and I'm so happy to hear the diagnosis that you've fucking been waiting for the last few years.
And you know what? if I'm gonna name a couple of names, that I wasn't expecting to hear from, that kind of blew me away. Um, First and foremost, Ron Dog Zybel. He has a prayer group. He put me down on the list of people to pray for in his prayer group. I cannot say thank you enough, Ron. Your spirit, your faith, your determination to get back out in the water and boogie, truly inspiring. And then, having six-time world champion Guilherme Tomega, somebody I consider a close friend, reaching out and sending prayers my way, that meant a lot to me. And another world champion, Damian King, completely unexpected hearing from him. It's been a while since I've talked to him, obviously, since he's holding down the real estate market down in Australia. And, I'm 3 hours from the nearest beach in North Carolina these days at the moment. It was greatly appreciated to hear from him, but just naming a few names off the top of my head. But again, the list is practically endless, the amount of people that reached out, and I can't say thanks enough.
Right on. All right. I'm like again super stoked to have you back, brother.
Yeah, that one was a little too close for comfort, man. I'm not ready to feed the tree quite yet.
No, we need you here. Shout outs on my end. I have a list, but to see the determination, the perseverance, and the will to keep charging, I'm shouting out to you because you inspire me from all the shit that has happened to you in the last, half a decade. And for you to freaking be here right now with this positive vibe is very motivating. So my shout out to you today for being alive and being here goes to you, brother. So keep on charging.
Only death will stop me, bro. And I have no desire to encounter it quite yet. And
Yeah.
honestly, I'm so damn stubborn that when death does come knocking on my door, I'm gonna have words for him.
Perfect. Jackson, earlier today, I don't know if you had this in your schedule, but keep charging. That discussion and we had earlier is I mean it's two words and they're so motivating. And you mentioned, Manny, I have an idea. What do you think about this? And so we create or Jackson came up with it and we put this together. Can I mention it? Can I talk about it?
Absolutely.
All right. So yeah, he's Jackson's like, "Hey Manny, do you have a moment? Can we do this? Can you guys see the screen here?"
Yep.
All right. So on the waterbeanwarehouse.com, Jackson mentioned, well, we're going to Book Life, we're going to Book Life merch. He's like, "Manny, what do you think about making this shirt? Black, orange on black, and just have it saying keep charging with a little boom, little tag of Bug Life right on the bottom. So this is now on the waterbeanwarehouse.com. If you guys want to pull this, pick one up. It's the least expensive t-shirt on the side. It's on the side. It's 20 bucks. I don't know what all the taxes or shipping is going to be, but this is up there. Jackson called out the color scheme, the actual font, and everything right here is pretty much all Jackson. So if you guys want to pick one up, pick it up. We're going to split the proceeds and help Jackson with, I'm sure he has some medical bills that may have piled up. So whatever you are doing here, I'm actually going to put that in the description. Proceeds, some of the proceeds will go to Steve Action Jackson. For his, I'm sure, pretty crazy medical bills. So yeah, if you want to help out Jackson, there's one way of doing it. 20 bucks for this Keep Charging Book Life t-shirt. Pick it up and you'll be hooking up Jackson.
Yeah, sometimes something as simple as two words can
Yeah,
hold a lot of power. And for me, that's kind of my personal mantra. Keep charging. Doesn't matter if you're talking about out in the water or life in general. You know, plain and simple. Just keep charging.
I know. And that's available right now. Go pick one up.
And yeah, referring to the medical bills, I'll be up to my eyeballs in medical debt for a little bit, but I'll
Yeah.
sort it out, get it figured, and you know, I'll get that taken care of as well as new health insurance at the end of the year.
All
Because
right.
my health insurance provider, as of January 1st, 2026, will no longer be serving the state of North Carolina.
What? That's
Yeah,
wild.
go figure. But again, it all ties into the pharmaceutical companies, the medical industry, and the insurance biz. That's
Yeah.
what it is. It's a business. So,
Damn.
but you know what? Like anything, you deal with it as it's thrown at you. You find an obstacle in your way, you find your way around it, over it, or just plow right fucking through it.
Perfect. All right.
Sorry, I watched a few too many episodes of The Dukes of Hazzard when I was little. And even now as an adult, I'll admit. You see a roadblock in your way, just drive through it.
All right, Jackson, let's keep chugging along.
All right, now on to bodyboarding news. I got a couple of things I want to touch on. The first thing I want to touch on, it's kind of after the fact because I was out of commission for the month of July. A lot went down in July. The first thing I want to mention is the Hawaii Triple Crown of bodyboarding. There were events at Sandy's, Shipwrecks, and the the Kauai Garden Island Classic. Now, if you go to Instagram and go to uh what is it? Uh Stoked the Boogie series.
All right, pulling it up now. Got it. So stoked. Yep,
So Stoked the Boogie. There we go. My apologies for messing up the name.
it's okay.
But there's some information there. The first event at Sandy's, stacked final. You had Sammy Martino, Jeff Hubbard, Matt Crilly. Um, I forget who the other person was, but Sammy Martino won the Sandy's contest. There's more information, I think, on the Garden Isle Classic Instagram, but you can also see results for all of the divisions for the Sandy's contest on Live Heats. If you go to Live Heats and look up So Stoked the Boogie series, it'll have all of the results for all of the divisions.
Okay. Let me pull that guy up. But yeah, this is this was posted back in May and they just finished their third stop in the Garden Isle Classic. I believe JG was there for that. And I didn't see how good the waves were for any of these, but so stoked that these guys have this thing dialed in for all the bodyboarders in Hawaii. Because I know a lot of them go inter island to compete at these events.
Yeah,
But
but I was really, really stoked to see that when it was first announced. I wish I could have followed along closer with the three events because for me, I would love to see this done elsewhere. California had the CBA for a couple of years. I would love to see that back in effect, especially now that one of the main organizers, Rogerio Becerra, is back in California. And I'd love to see something like this on the East Coast as well. Three events, and then after the three events are run in Hawaii, three events in California, three events on the US East Coast. You bring the top riders from all three series together for a national championship, and you've got your US national champion.
it sounds so easy. Jeez.
Like a lot of things in life, easier said than done, bro.
I know, dang it.
But trust me, this past month being laid up, I hate downtime. I was brainstorming on a lot of stuff. I contacted people from, you know, APB North America, Bodyboarding US, just mulling over ideas. And I'm really hoping in the next couple of years we start to see some things get put together and pulled off and made a reality. But that's neither here nor there right now. But the Triple Crown of bodyboarding in Hawaii, that's legit.
Yeah. And they have their wrap-up party on August 15th. It looks like, man, that would be fun to attend if everybody cruises over together for the wrap-up party. They're charging at the door. That's fair. $20, $30, and VIP $50. Which is, they got to, if you want a nice event, you got to pay for it. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So
I'm willing
stoked
to
they're going.
bet that's going to be one hell of a good time.
I believe so. They got a band. Yeah, this is going to be pretty legit. And DJ. Yeah, this is going to be pretty fun. If you're
Yeah,
anywhere in the area, drop the $20, get over there, go check it out. 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. midnight on August 15th.
yeah, and for all of you that are watching, be sure to hit up, Garden Isle Classic on Instagram as well as So Stoked to Boogie on Instagram. And if you go to Live Heats again, liveheats.com/ So Stoked to Boogie for all of the listed results for all of the divisions from the Sandy's event.
What's it gonna take to get that West Coast three-stop tour and the East Coast three-stop tour to happen?
If I had an answer for that, I'd be working on it as we speak.
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah,
enough.
there's more than enough people out on the West Coast that are capable of pulling it off. Just need to get heads together and, sort out the details, dial in the permits and the locations and the sponsors and make it happen. Again, it's easier said than done, but there are people out there with the passion and the drive to make it happen, and I'm sure they can get the job done.
Well, I hope that happens sooner than later.
So, and then on to my next piece of news. If you'd be so kind as to go to the Moray Bodyboards Instagram page.
Okay, Maury.
Yeah, go figure. That just came out of my mouth.
There's one.
For
That's the
all of you who don't know, I've had severe words about Moray Bodyboards over the past several years.
exactly.
And, I've been highly critical of the company. But they just did something last month that blew me away. Probably the coolest thing this company has done in ages. If you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see a picture of PLC holding in the water, holding up his board. Scroll down a little bit more. There it is. And his board says Gojira. For those of you who don't know, Gojira is a massively successful, award-winning metal band from France, same neck of the woods that Pierre-Louis Costas is from. And the Moray Bodyboards did a special collaboration, pre-order only. The pre-order unfortunately ended on July 17th, but it's a collaboration between PLC and Gojira. As you can see, an all-black Moray board with Gojira across sublimated across the bottom of the board.
That's cool.
So one of the best metal bands in the world, they're fans of bodyboarding. They're big advocates for the environment. And in case you were asleep under a stone somewhere, their opening performance for last year's Summer Olympics in France,
What?
they basically won the Olympics, in my opinion.
Oh
The,
my
the rest,
gosh. They're
the rest of
huge.
you could skip the rest of the Olympics. Nothing else lived up to that opening performance by Gojira.
Wow, I did not know that. And how are they involved with bodyboarding? Are they friends, PLC and the singer?
They're from the Hossiger area, and one of them is an avid bodyboarder.
Oh, the lead
And
singer? The drummer?
I'm not. I forget which band member, but you know, PLC, in his words, has said this is probably the biggest thing to happen in his career. And considering the fact that he's a two-time world champion, that is really saying something.
We just pulled up one of his latest clips. He's got a bodyboard in hand, and he's gonna go crowd
Crowd
surf.
surfing on the boog. Gotta love it.
And PLC's on stage at the event. They got to be friends. Look at that shot. Drop me in on a Maury board at the concert. Holy crap. And PLC giving some love. Yeah, they got to be friends. And they give it away to a Grom. Oh my God. How stoked is this kid?
That's one hell of a souvenir to take home from a Gojira concert. I mean, look at how many people there are. It's a sea of people. These guys, they're not some, random European metal band. They are the band to listen to.
Damn. Okay, I need to catch up on them. See, he's holding drumsticks, so I'm guessing he's the drummer or the singer. I don't know, but we'll find out.
There's a few posts on the Moray site that talk about the board and the relationship of, where they're from and the things they're passionate about, and it all ties in. And you know what? For all my criticisms that I've had towards Moray bodyboards, I have to give them credit for this one because this is quite possibly the coolest cross promotion in the sport that I have seen in a very long time.
Damn, that is so freaking cool. I'm 100% PLC was behind this and to make it happen. Props to PLC, Maury, and yeah, everybody who put it together. Pretty freaking awesome. Good find.
Yeah, so that's my news, even though it's a little outdated. I wanted to bring them up because I thought, both the Triple Crown of bodyboarding and the Gojira collaboration were worthy of note.
So, I mean, yeah, I am still like taken aback. I didn't know they opened up the Olympics, Grammy Award winning, and friends with PLC. Freaking awesome.
And if you want to see the opening performance of Gojira at the Olympics, you can find it on YouTube.
Okay.
It is mind-blowing.
All right, I'm gonna
And
do
for
that.
that, you haven't seen it, I'll give you one little hint. The opening performance involves a headless Marie Antoinette.
Oh, oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna watch it after we're done here. Bodyboarding news on my end, I've been focusing on work, which is Epic Surf Tours and here on Bug Life. But probably the most anticipated trip for me is about to go down August 24th when Pat Caldwell and Ben Severson land in Los Cabos, Baja California, Mexico. For me, this is like a big deal because my first ever professional bodyboarding magazine photo shoot trip was to Cabo San Lucas, and Ben Severson was on that trip. And I got to get to know him, and just the fact to be in the presence of somebody you've seen in the magazines and then do what he did in the magazine, do it live in front of your own eyes is just, mind blowing. The way he drew his lines, the long barrels that he was able to find, and just how, perfect he was riding in Cabo. So, and Pat's been to Cabo too. So they were the pioneers, professional bodyboarders to go down there. There was bodyboarders already there. Mauricio, he's one of the first Cabo bodyboarders, and he's going to be joining us down there too. But the fact that these guys were the pioneers and looking for those, awesome, clear, empty shore breaks, and then finding these perfect, peaks, perfect for bodyboarding, and to bring them back, gosh, what, 40 years later?
Walking in the footsteps of bodyboarding history, bro.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
I, I, God, I would do anything to be down there. I just wish because I'm sure the stories Ben could tell, it just the memory recall being in certain places at that point in time and being able to revisit them all these years later. there is so much history tied into, Cabo San Lucas and professional bodyboarding.
I need to figure out how to just press the record button on some audio tapes and just keep them in the van as we're going to and from the surf breaks because these stories are going to be coming out, uh, you know, as we're moving around. And then we will take one day with Book Life and just sit down and have a little round table like we did with J Rom and Cabo, and that'll be fun. So be ready for that. And that's what
Please,
I,
please record as much as possible, even if it's not a direct interview.
yes,
While they're
yes.
talking story, hit play,
Yeah, hit record.
hit
Yeah,
record.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
that's I think I'm actually gonna buy just a couple pocket recorders just to like just drop it right next to them right when they're getting ready to chat. Of course, I'll have to edit these because I'm sure things may come out that aren't for everybody, but yeah, I agree. I'm gonna get as much content as possible, as many stories as possible, and have that fireside chat or poolside chat when we're at the hotel.
Yeah,
But that,
sometimes the stories that get told off the record need to be on the record.
yeah,
Kind of
amen to
like
that.
that guided Bobby Zabad tour of Carlsbad and where the original one of the factories was,
Yeah.
where this was, what street that was on. I swear to God, if we had that on tape, that would be absolutely priceless. So yeah,
Gold.
you get yourself like a micro recorder or some sort of digital recorder and make it happen. Wow, micro recorder. I'm going back to the 80s on that one. Showing
Uh,
my age.
all right, I'm writing this down right now, and they're pretty cheap, I'm sure. Um, Amazon or wherever.
I'm
Oh,
sure there's some millennials and Gen Zers that are like, what the hell is a micro cassette recorder?
exactly.
What's a cassette?
So I'm gonna order up at least two of those. They're on the cheap side,
Oh.
so I'll grab a couple of those.
And just to elaborate a little bit on what I just mentioned, when Manny did his interview with Bobby Zabad on the beach in Carlsbad, afterwards we went out for lunch and a couple of drinks, and Bobby offered to take us on a guided tour of Carlsbad and the history of bodyboarding in that city. He took us down all these different streets, showed us where the old factory was, and it was
They were in
truly.
a different car in front of us. We had them on speakerphone, and I think I was recording on the GoPro. But if you know GoPro's earlier versions, for whatever reason, it wants to say, sorry, we didn't record that. And that's what happened. Wow, it was so, I was like, oh my
And
God, I
I'm
can't
just as
believe that
much to
happened.
blame because I'm sitting in the car with Manny just completely mesmerized. It was quite literally a walk down memory lane for Bobby Zabad. And to have someone like him who's been there, done that in the history of bodyboarding, that was a true honor and a privilege to, get that tour,
Yeah,
of bodyboarding history. I think he showed us where Tom used to live in Carlsbad. He showed us
all of
where
it.
the old factory was, all of it. And it was just mind blowing. Like, honestly, I think I spent most of that time in the car listening to him with my jaw dropped wide open. I'm amazed I wasn't catching flies.
Oh my God. And I'm lucky that I was able to recover some content for because I did sit down on the beach with him and man, some of the stories were pretty amazing. He used to, I don't know if it was him or he was a part of it, but they were listen to the interview. It's pretty pretty amazing. But yeah, I'm bummed we didn't get that audio of the tour around Carlsbad.
Well, now you know. So while you've got Pat Caldwell and Ben Severson in Cabo San Lucas,
Yeah.
record as much as possible. Video, audio, photographs, the whole nine yards, bro.
I
Yeah,
may even just buy one for their room. I'm like, hey, you guys, press record and just talk stories to each other. We want to hear it. I want to. We all want to hear it.
they'll totally mess with you on that one.
I know,
But
bro.
I
We
tell
press record and we don't know what happened.
I tell you what, man, It's a major opportunity right there, not just for you and everybody else who's going to be on that trip, but just to have that experience and to hear those stories. I mean, I
Yeah.
could talk story for hours just about the stories I've been fortunate enough to hear and experience with guys like that. You know,
Yeah.
and priceless moments.
Yeah, and that's what I've been pretty much focused on is making sure all the dots are, I mean, the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, and everything's looks like it's all dialed in. I am using Danny Boy Cabo. He's our transportation guy. I got a van and a driver. I actually had to hire another driver, a local bodyboarder who would be taking the crew, following the van with our equipment and the crew. So things are all dialed in. Gregorio is going to be shooting some days with us. Jimmy Hootaff is on this trip. I mean, how can I forget? I mean,
He's
Hootaff,
another one. I mean, you're talking about the wizard.
yeah.
Yeah.
And people who are on this trip, I hope they understand the historical nature of what's about to happen for that week because you have two of the pioneers, the first generation bodyboarders. You have Jimmy Hootaff, who, is an icon during that second or third generation. And yeah, it's going to be pretty incredible. I'm pretty excited.
That trip is of much greater significance than just your usual trip chasing waves, diving into good food, and having good times. Yeah,
Question for you,
this is an
Jackson.
opportunity to learn.
I have a question for you, Jackson. In one of my Pelican cases right over here on the floor, I purchased something for my Baja trips and more specifically a Baja Deep South surfing trip, which I think bodyboarders would love too. But we're in the middle of nowhere down there. And what I purchased for that trip, I've been using it pretty much for every trip. What I want to ask you is, should we go live from La Bocana with this Starlink Mini?
If you've got a signal, make it happen.
I
Because
know. It's
whether
been
you
playing in the back of my mind for
whether you talk to them before they paddle out or after they paddle out, I'm sure you're going to get into some great historical stuff, some real great talk story sessions, you know, because those early days, I mean, it was quite literally the wild, wild west exploring down that way back in the 80s.
yeah.
You're talking about your first magazine trip down there. Just imagine being the first crew bodyboarder sent down there on a magazine trip. What was it, back in like 87, I want to say it was? If you go by the date on the Aaron Lloyd slide that's on my t-shirt, um, you know, they were learning on the fly, you know,
Yeah.
and they scored the goods while they were doing it.
All right, so we're gonna do it. I'm gonna figure out. I need to buy another large battery pack to charge the laptop because the one I have now charges the Starlink Mini, and that power pack can power the internet for about 2 hours. So we'll do 90 minutes on the beach as soon as we set up, and then the power to the laptop so we can have some proper gear set up for that. Yeah, I think we're gonna do it. I
That
think we're gonna
sounds
do
like
it.
a killer idea, bro.
Question. Should I make it free to everybody, or should I say, okay, um, Boog Life pipeline patrons, you guys have access to it, but if you want to see it for a day, you can pay this. Uh, what are your thoughts?
Live access for Book Life pipeline patrons, and then when you get back from the trip, load it, make it available for everybody else.
Perfect.
Pipeline patrons get first live access.
All right, I'm writing that down because I've been tossing that back and forth in my mind. I'm like, how am I going to do this if I do it?
Yeah,
Um,
pipeline patrons get first dibs.
okay. And they'll be able to chat with us because they will have all the links and everything. Okay,
There you go.
got it. Perfect. Okay. All right, that's it for me on my end as far as bodyboarding news.
All right. So now we're going to get into the Boog Life video of the week. If you'll pull up YouTube and go to Breaking Even TV.
Oh yeah, man, they are solid.
You know what? I cannot say it enough. I love what Tanner McDaniel and Craig Wetter have been doing out in California. Uh, and this video we're going to pull up is a perfect example. Pull up the wedging hard.
All right, I got something here. Hectic Swell, July 2025. Let me share this with you guys. Booyah. All right, and make sure that we are sharing the sound. There it is. You got it?
Do you have a
Yep.
report?
Now, this is an 11-minute video. I highly suggest we watch the whole damn video. Because
Oh, damn.
besides these two, you got everybody from Eddie Solomon Jr. to Jason Bitzer in this video.
Perfect. All right, let's do it. You guys got audio?
Yep, loud and clear, brother.
Oh my gosh. If you've never surfed the wedge, it's a whole different animal. But at this size, it's manageable and super fun. Once you go into the six feet and above, you know,
Tear you from limb to limb if you're not careful.
Yeah, it could hurt you. And this is like perfect size right here.
The best barrels I ever had at the wedge were on days like this, where it wasn't too big and too hectic. You know, just some nice clean barrels, offshore winds. Yeah, once it gets a 6 foot and bigger, yeah. My worst memories of the wedge are on a day where it was like 6 foot and picking up. I got ragdolled all the way to the beach and on a cleanup set. And I swear to God, I thought my arms and legs were gonna get ripped out the damn sockets.
Oh, that looks like perfect size.
And I'll be completely honest. When I watch Craig Wetter and Tanner McDaniel riding the wedge, these guys are elite level. Obviously, Tanner, 2023 world champion, but these guys are next level elite bodyboarders.
Oh my God. Jeez. Oh, cylinders. So the right over on cylinder, just to the north of the left is a right shore break called cylinders. Steep and hollow. Oh.
Last time I went to the wedge, I got a really killer barrel at cylinders, and I'm happy to keep that memory. My last wave there was a barrel at cylinders. I'll keep that memory.
Yes. Oh my God. That was sick. Hunter.
Scotty Pete.
And in the summer, oh damn! In the summertime, the wedge is blackballed, which means I think it's from 9 to 5. Only body surfers are allowed to be out there. I think the body surfers don't even bother in the morning.
Nope, during the morning, bodyboarders, skimboarders, surfers galore. Then body surfers from 9 to 5. So you get that early morning dawn patrol crew. And then once 5 o'clock hits, it's game on again.
Had a sunrise out there. So we've also got PJ from Puerto Rico tagging along with us today.
PJ.
It'll be a fun, entertaining day at Wedge. Looks pretty solid, so. Welcome to the vlog, PJ.
Yeah, PJ.
Breaking even with Ravito's collab.
All the boys
Collab, you need it.
The boys are on. Check out this little toy. Say hello to the people.
Check them out. Switching over.
Swimmy doesn't agree with my DJI change.
For a little bit of a drought. See if I can fit you.
Oh my God, that day looks perfect. Yeah, Bitzer.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, that looks like a perfect summer morning. Oh no. Man, I mean, it's the perfect ramp. Oh, jeez. Oh. Oh my God. Was this the size that you got it? On that bigger day, Jackson?
The day I got ragdolled, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe just a touch smaller. Perfect barrels. Anything bigger, ragdolled like a bitch.
Oh, foamy. I wonder what Tanner and Craig are up to for the rest of the year. Oh, cylinders look perfect too.
Look
And
at
the
that.
lighting. Wow. Oh. Wow, there's a lot of heads over at cylinders.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Tanner?
I'm not sure who that was dropping the knee.
Oh.
I think
Bobby.
that was Bobby Kithcart. Yeah, there it is.
No, but that other drop mirror was backside. Oh. Look at this beautiful thing. Wow, that was beautiful. Hey, there's the Nano Fit water.
There it is.
I think that's. Oh no, that was. Who was that? I
I think it was
Chris
Craig
Monroe,
holding a bottle of it.
but it might have been Chris Monroe. So all these guys are doing is just filming every day.
It's good. Damn, let's get it.
Racking up there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did you take a look or?
Just from the cam.
Yeah.
They got front rows. That's the best parking spot you can get. Oh, so this is another day.
Yep.
Damn. Uh, Whoa, hold those legs together. Yeah. Looks so dreamy.
Beans.
Oh! How much time has Bean spent out there? Years.
I'm sure if he had $1 for every session out there, he'd be a rich man.
Yep. Wonder what he's up to. So if you haven't subscribed to Breaking Even TV and you're a bodyboarder, you're doing yourself an injustice. I think the cool thing about this is most Southern California bodyboarders can relate to it because it's their backyard and they can see, just the watercolor itself can, you can relate to it. It looks familiar and it feels comfortable. I mean,
As comfortable as you can get riding the wedge.
yeah, or not being out in the water. Nice. Damn. Is that Craig? Yeah, that was solid.
Watch this last wave.
Oh, over the hump. Oh, sick.
I've never seen a wave this long ridden at the wedge before.
Wow. He's at cylinders.
Yep.
What? You're still going.
Damn.
Yeah,
Well,
so there you go. That was
that
well worth watching the entire 11-minute clip.
100%. I'm going to cut and paste that into the YouTube chat so we don't forget. We had a couple people commenting in the chat, but yeah, Art, man, that was pretty sick. Bobby Q was just in California. He got some good ones at the wedge as well. So that'd have been nice to watch him out there. So the wedge has been producing. So if you want to see more of that, make sure you go to Breaking Even TV.
There are certain wave riding arenas that traditionally have been and continue to be proving grounds.
Yeah.
Pipeline, wedge, I could name others, but for as long as I've been bodyboarding, you want to prove yourself, you got to do it at Pipeline, which isn't just battling the elements and the waves themselves, but battling the crowds. And the same can be said for the wedge. You know, if Mother Nature doesn't put you in your place, the local crowd definitely will. So watch your step, tread lightly.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's some legit talent that rides the wedge on a daily basis. And when a tourist like me shows up, you better know your place.
I mean, you got some. Obviously, Tanner and the boys, they got their slot in the pecking order. And yeah, if you do show up, just watch for a little bit and then
Watch
jump
what
out
you're
there.
doing, respect the locals,
Yeah.
and earn your place in the lineup.
If you want that. I put in my time there for a little bit in the early 90s and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm good here. I'm gonna go that way, which is south down to Mexico.
I can count on my hands the amount of times I've ridden wedge and cylinders in my life. And I always paddled out there with the mentality that I'm just a guest, you know, respect the locals and watch your ass because like I said, the one time I got severely ragdolled, the swell was picking up, an outside set popped up. I got through the first set,
Oh,
second set cleaned me up.
oh my gosh. You weren't even on the wave. That happens a lot there.
Yeah, I just and you just saying I got worked absolute understatement.
Yeah,
No
that
lie, I washed up on the beach and I was, you know, my arms, my legs, all right, cool, everything's still in place. I didn't break anything, nothing got torn out. I'm lucky. Other people have dealt with far worse. I was thankful I didn't have to get carted off by EMTs on a stretcher
which happens there.
on a fairly frequent basis.
All right, Jackson, wrap it up, brother.
All right, this week's weekly motivation, we already talked about it earlier in the show. I got two simple, powerful words for all of you. Keep charging. Until the next time around, I'm Steve Action Jackson here with Manny Vargas, the man, the myth, the legend himself. We'll catch you next time. You.